Okay, you'll call him Fisher tomorrow?
Yes, Fisher will go. And, we almost threw him an inning on Saturday just to use it as a bullpen. We just said, let's let him rest and be strong on Tuesday.
You have like a pitch count for him, or how many innings you'd like to see him go?
No, not. I mean, there'll be a number. Probably could go 70 or 80. But if he's throwing strikes, he goes as many innings as he can.
You're sitting there, Carter's on the board. I mean, you plan to throw him?
Yeah, if at all possible, we will. Obviously, we want it to feel right. Maybe not put him in like a super leverage type position, more of a, maybe it'd be like start an inning and kind of go from there.
How big a surprise is it that he's ready this quickly?
Well, when it first happened, I thought, well, he probably won't pitch in 24, getting ready for 25. But then it went really well, looked great after the surgery, and then the rehab process throughout the summer, throughout Christmas break. I mean, he's just really worked hard and stayed on it, and he's just accelerated everything. It's been great.
I think UCA is like only 7-6, but they played a lot of close games. Played LSU tie. What do you know about them?
Yes, they played a lot of close games, and they played some good people. They will fight you, and they're coming off a weekend series just like everybody else. So it's, they're probably trying to figure out exactly how they're going to handle their pitching. It's always a good game when we play the in-state teams for the most part.
Coach, you talked about how Nolan Souza, the way that he's playing good and making your life a little bit more difficult. That's in a second.
Yeah, he's not really making it more difficult. He's making it difficult for me to figure out who to play all the time. And, I think I'll put him in the lineup again tomorrow to start. And, I might move Holt over to third and give Sprague-Law a day off, let him rest up. He's played every inning of every game. And that's kind of what I'm looking to do right now.
So with Bybee, getting near the end of the protocol, from a return to the mound perspective, you got a timeline in mind? Maybe 10 days out, maybe next Tuesday. Not sure exactly all the rules on that, but he's throwing on his own and doing some things. We just couldn't really do anything with him until yesterday, and I think he's. I don't think so this weekend, but next week sometime. And then you didn't mention Adam Ashman. What's the update on him?
Well, he's coming off of surgery as well, and he's not ready yet. So, we're not rushing that process at all. We'll just wait and see how he feels when he's ready to pitch. We'll pitch him.
With Carter, are you looking to maybe get an inning out of him? Don't want to overextend?
Yeah, there'd be definitely a pitch count on him, and it's probably more of an inning. Yeah.
You've given Wilmsmeyer a couple of days off. Do you think that might help him a little bit, kind of watching it from the sideline, watching the dugout?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, really good defender, and we'd like him to be out there, and he will be out there. I'm not sure how I'm going to go in center tomorrow. I could play Lovich out there. I could make a few different changes, but sometimes just getting offside, relax a little bit, just calm you down. I think that's what he needed.
You've done that a few times over the years. Just how do you know when to play that card, when to let him kind of play through it? Just how do you go about that?
Well, you're not sure. I mean, you're never 100% sure. Then you just kind of watch and see how the at-bats are after the fact, and usually they're better. They're not going out of the zone as much or swinging as missing as much, and maybe they've slowed the game down a little bit.
Said yesterday, like you Gage Wood back out there.
Yeah.
What's the plan for him?
Yeah, I mean, he's available tomorrow, so we have confidence in Gage, and he's got a good arm, and he's got to finish hitters. He gets ahead of them a lot, and he's made a mistake, 2 strike mistakes, and they've made him pay, and that's the way the game works, especially the higher level you go. When you make a mistake, they're usually going to square it up.
Has Stovall gotten to the point where he can stand in against pitchers yet?
Yeah, what we've done with him is he's standing in when all of our pitchers, for the most part, a lot of them are warming up or throwing their bullpens, and we put a screen in front of him.
You have a projected date for when he might be able to get back in the lineup?
Well, I was hoping that he could get back for Oral Roberts, but I don't know if he's going to be ready yet. We'll just wait and see. We just don't want to rush it. I mean, once he gets back in the lineup, he'll be in the lineup, and he'll be playing all the time, every day.
You mentioned some of the conversations you had with people like in your office wanting to play, just overall team morale, team chemistry. Just do you see positive signs in that regard?
Yeah, and we knew that there was going to be some guys that, they're used to playing that aren't playing. The way it works, you bring in, a JUCO transfer or grad transfer, or anybody that with a little bit of experience, they're used to playing. And then you bring in freshmen that are pretty darn good, and they get in the lineup, and they take somebody's job or whatever the case may be. Just as long as they can back it up, they got to prove that they deserve to play over somebody. But it's been good. I think guys understand that unless they're doing really well and somebody else is doing really well, sometimes it's not that difficult of a decision if you're just talking about that game.
It's several years now. You played the in-state teams, and you were a guy that really pushed for that because you wanted, teams closer to be able to come and play. You weren't afraid of the in-state stuff. Just how do you feel like that's worked several years in?
I think it's been good. I mean, I know that if I coached at a school in this state and it wasn't the University of Arkansas, that I'd want to play Arkansas. So I think that I'm sure their players, want to play in the ballpark, want to play in front of a bunch of fans, and they know guys on our team as our guys know some of those guys. Played summer ball with them and stuff. I think it's good. It's probably mentally more difficult for us than them. In a lot of cases, they have nothing to lose, and if we lose, we're supposed to win. But really, every game we play now is kind of that way. So it's another game for us. We're gonna do the best we can to win.
Couple weeks in, you're 9-2. Just kind of, where do you feel like you guys are right now?
Yeah, I think we're going to be a lot better. And it doesn't mean we're going to win, 9 out of every 11 games we play. Competition's going to just get better and better. But we can play better, and our players know that. And that's the thing that we look forward to doing, is continue to get better and start making a move as far as, every game we play, we feel like that, we're going to be super hard to beat if we can get to our potential.
You mentioned Fayetteville's laid-back nature. You also mentioned, he's pushing more than maybe a little bit anybody else. How have you seen him handle the slower start of the season?
I think he's handled it great. I mean, inside, I'm sure it's bothering him a lot, but he's not really showing it. He's not a bat thrower or glove thrower or screamer. He hasn't let it bother him in the field. He's fielding the ball pretty good, and I like his demeanor. He's got some fire in him too, and he's a tough kid. So he might have the perfect makeup for this game because it could be so frustrating. But I think he's getting real close.
You mentioned a little bit with Sprague Lott, kind of inverting where you guys were really happy with his club in the fall, and now his bat's really, performing well, and there's been a couple errors. Are you confident the glove will get back to where it needs to be?
Well, it's back to where it was. I mean, he played great all weekend, and I just feel like it just happens. That's baseball. He can make 3 or 4 errors in a 2-week period and not make an error for 45 days. It's a tough position, third. You got to come and get balls. You got to backhand balls. You get balls hit at you super hard. If you look over the years, you go look at your good third baseman you have. Most of them are going to make 10, 12, 15 errors before the season's over. It's kind of when you make them. You like to make them that they don't hurt you, obviously.
What's Cody Frank done to pitch the love for you so far?
Well, Cody showed us last year what we thought we were getting. I mean, this guy can pitch 2 times on the weekend or twice during the week, whatever you need him. He's just been versatile. He throws strikes, he competes, he can field his position, and then he got hurt, came back, seemed to be better than ever. He hadn't lost anything, probably gained a little bit actually, and we just like him out there. We feel confident with him on the mound.
You told me the other day that everything he's done to walk home. He said you guys have been real welcoming.
Yeah.
How much do you think that maybe that helps?
Oh, I'm sure it helps for you. Just the other day I came in after the game, and I think it was Saturday after the game, and he was in there in our kind of our nutrition area where our pool table and all that stuff is, and his wife was in there with him. They had the baby, and the guys were talking to him. I went up and talked to her, and kind of giving him a hard time. It was just fun. I think it's a great atmosphere. I think they feel really comfortable and know that we respect everything they're doing.
On the flip side of Souza playing so well lately, is Peyton Holt's been on the bench the last couple of games. Being an older guy, how has he handled all that?
Peyton's been great. Peyton knows that he's going to be moved around a little bit. Let's say Stovall didn't get hurt. Was he going to be our third baseman? Is he going to DH and play in left field? Is he going to sit? Probably a little bit of all of that. And you think about last year at this time, he was way down on the depth chart, and when he got his chance, he did really well. So he's kind of a gamer, you know, one of those guys that, you know, he's really proud to wear the uniform, and he's playing for the team. That's 100%.
With Gackle throwing a lot of late inning situations, closing games for you, when you think back to how it played out with some of your freshman closers the last couple of years, does that make you a little bit more cautious of how you use him down the stretch?
Well, he's different than like Brady got tired because Brady had some arm issues. Brady didn't pitch his freshman year in the fall. He didn't throw one time. That was like September 7th. He didn't throw again. And this is a different arm action. Brady's actually tightened his up, shortened it up a little bit, but this is more of just the arm action that you don't worry about as much, shorter. But yeah, I mean, you always learn from the past, and we won't have to use him, you know, crazy because we have other guys.
How has Will McIntyre been feeling after his first few relief appearances?
Well, you know, Will, he's always throwing the ball 80 miles an hour, or 89, 90, 91 miles an hour. So it's a really good cutter and spin a breaking ball on you, and he just keeps wanting the baseball. So will we use him tomorrow? I doubt it. Even if we would like to, try to give him a little bit of time to get ready for the weekend.
All right, Coach. That's the time.